Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today these are the two beaded bracelets that I will be making. Most of the components came from the dollar bead box and the dollar bead bag for the month of February and March 2024. And if you are interested in the dollar bead box or the dollar bead bag, or like me, you're interested in both, I will have all the information in the description box below. I definitely encourage you to go check them out. And when you do, you want to use my code. That code is CRAFT2. And that code will get you $2 off your first month of a multi-month subscription. So if you would like to see how these bracelets came about, then stay tuned. I'm going to start with the tools I'll be using. I have one set of cutters, one thread zap 2. I am also using a size 10 beading needle, an 8-pound fire line in the color Smoke, which is this black color. And I always get the 125 yards just because I go through it so quickly. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set, and it is very high quality, very well made. And the biggest thing for me is the size. A lot of times, for whatever reason, jewelry making tools will be like this, just a little bit smaller. And ever since I found these tools, I just can't imagine using anything else. And you can see the grips quite a bit different as well. So I will have this tool set linked down below, along with everything else I used that did not come from the bead box. I will also link below the opening video I did for the dollar bead box and dollar bead bag, and it will have a detailed description of everything I used that came from the box. From my own stash, I'm going to be using several different seed beads. Now this one here did come from the bead box. For my own stash, I have this 8-0 metallic purple and 15-0 right here. This is a gray white, and 15-0, this is a clear pink. And I have already made one in the design that I came up with, and here it is. I absolutely love this. Most of the beads in this bracelet also came from the dollar bead box for the month of February. I absolutely love these fire polish beads that I used across the top, kind of the focal beads, and then the smaller fire polish that go along the sides. And then of course I have a brick stitch across the bottom. And for this one, I used a toggle clasp from my own stash. So this is the design. And I already have it threaded here, and I used a whole wingspan. So I held the thread with one hand all the way as far as I could open my arms, and I will most certainly have to add more thread. So I really wouldn't go too crazy with the amount of thread because you'll most certainly need to add more. So I went ahead and poured out some of my 8-0, the metallic purple here, and I'm going to build the brick stitch that goes all the way across the bottom. Like right here, we start with this brick stitch and then we build everything on top of that. I start off by picking up 6 8-0 seed beads and pushing them all the way down to the bottom. You only need to leave enough on the end to make a knot. So I kind of separate these two by 3s, and I'm going to go back through just the last 3, just like that, and pull it tight. So it looks like that right there. I'm going to go back through the other 3, and then right here I'm going to go ahead and make a knot. Just a simple over-under knot, just like you're tying your shoes. And I'm going to do it one more time. Pull it snug. Then I'm going to hold that tail out and cut it. Then I'm going to take out my thread zap, push the button, and I'm going to melt down that nub a little bit. Just like that. And now we have the start. So I will show you how to do a few lengths of the brick stitch, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So right now I'm coming off of the knot, and I'm going to go back up one side, just like that. Pick up 3 more, go back through the other side, and then pull it snug, just like that. And go back through that top, And you certainly don't have to do this, but since this is the base of the bracelet, I secured each one a second time. So it's just a real quick back around in a circle, back around on the top, and now I'm coming out. We'll do one more together. Pick up 3 more, back around the other side, just like that. And again, I secure each one an extra time. But like I said, you go back up and down a couple times, so it's not completely necessary to do that, but I do it. Back through the top, and just like that. And you're going to continue doing this, just like this, however long you want your bracelet. And I will say this, as far as the brick stitch goes, I made mine almost exactly 6.5 inches. If you look where the brick stitch starts and where it ends, I made it 6.5 inches. And that way it gave me another inch for the clasp on either end, because of course it overlaps. So we will meet back up when we have our full length. All right, so here is my full length. And as you can see here, I always try to keep the base of the pattern at 6.5 inches, and that gives me about an inch for the clasp. So my next part of the pattern, I'm going to be using one of the 3mm fire polished, and I'm going to be using one of the 15-0s. And I'm going to be using the pink 15-0s to go with this darker shade of purple that came in the box. And of course later I'll be using this kind of grayish white to go with the white ones. So where I am now is coming out of the last 8-0, the last row. I added the last row of the brick stitch and went around again, and I'm coming out right there. So this time, every time I'm going to be picking up a 15-0, a 3mm fire polished 15-0. And I will be going every other row. So I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to skip one and go through the next one. And you're going to pull it tight just like that. Then pick up the next set, and then from wherever you are, you're going to skip one and go through the one after that. Just like that. And as you can see, you're going to kind of S your way down. And the next one, skip one, go through the next one. And just like that, we'll meet back up when we get to the other side. So here it is now. I have the S kind of going all the way down. And right now I'm coming out of this one right here, second to last. And instead of putting 15-0s on either side, I am just using the 3mm and going through the last row. All right, so here we are. And now we're going to go back down the opposite way, and we're going to be using the white color. So we're going to start here on the end. So I'm just going to grab a 3mm and go through that next row. And now, of course, making our way back down. So we have a 15-0, 3mm, 15-0. And then just like the other way, we're going to skip the next one from the one we're coming out of and go through the one after that. Just like that. There you go. Pick up the next set, skip one, go through. On the way back, you're going to be going through the same one you went through before, where the other 15-0 seed bead is. All right, just like that, working your way back down. And here it is right now so far, and this is the base of the bracelet. And right now it looks the same on both sides. And I also really think this could be a bracelet by itself. If you wanted to just stop at this point and put a clasp on either side, I think this could be just fine. I think it's very, very pretty. But of course, I'm going to add a little flourish across the top. Right now, I am coming out of this last row. I just added the last 15-0, 3mm, and 15-0 here on the end. And before I add the points on the top, I'm going to go in right here and just do kind of a half knot right in through there. And when the loop gets small enough, I'm going to put my needle through the loop, and then I'm going to pull it nice and snug. just to kind of tighten that all off. So now I'm going to step up by going back through this 15-0 and through the 3mm and then coming out. And I'm going to be using the seed beads that came in the box. And I'm also going to be using some of the bigger fire polish beads, these 4mm fire polish beads. And here on this other one that I made, we're doing that layer across the top. The bead box called these seed beads 12 O's. 12 O's. To me, they look more like 11 O's, but regardless, the size works. So we're going to use 2 of the seed beads, 1 of the 4mm, and then 2 more seed beads. And we're following the same S pattern down the bracelet. So we're coming out of this purple pink one up here, and we're just going to go across to the next purple pink one. And just like that, it's going to lay across the top. And we pick up that same set, and now we're coming out of this one here. We're going to go across to the next one. And you want to be real careful that you don't go through the 15-0 seed beads like that right there. You only want to go through those fire polish beads. So just like that, and you're going to work your way down, same S style. All right, here it is. I am now at the other end, and I'm coming out of the 3mm fire polished right here. So now I'm going to put the clasp on this end now, because I won't be working my way back down here anymore. And once I put the clasp on, I'm going to work my way down to the other side and finish with putting the clasp on the other side. So here is how I put on the clasp. I'm going to go through the 3 in the last row, and I have 3 11-0s, an 8-0, and 1 11-0. And I'm going to go through the clasp, and I'm going to go back through that top 11-0 and the 8-0 and come back out like that. So now here I am, pick up 3 more, go back through the end, just like that. And I flipped the whole bracelet over. I'm coming out here at the bottom, and I'm gonna go back through the whole clasp again. So just like that, all the way through, going through the loop. And I'm gonna go back down and back down the other way. Back through the last row. So now, from here, I'm gonna go through the 3mm on the end, through the second row, and I flipped it over. I'm gonna go through the 3mm on the end, and now I'm gonna fill in that little gap on either side. So I'm gonna pick up 1 more 11-0 and go back around the clasp, and when you pull that through, it just pops right into that gap through the loop, and you're gonna go back through here at the top, last time, and I have flipped it over, and I'm gonna go back down the other side, just like that, get 1 more, and go through the 3mm on the end, and it pops it into place. So there is the clasp on this side, and you put the clasp on the other side this exact same way. So now I am coming out of this 3mm white one here on the end, and now we're gonna work our way back down. So I'm gonna pick up 2 more and go through the 4mm fire polished on top, just like that. Pick up 2 and go through the white one on the other side, just like that. And you're gonna continue making your way down. I'll do 1 more. Each time you're picking up 2, and you're going back through the ones in the middle. Just like that. I turned it around, pick up 2 more, and go through the white one here on the side. Just like that. All right, we'll S our way through, and we'll meet back up on the other side. All right, so now I have gone all the way, and I am coming out where I put the last 2 11-0s through, right there at the end. And this time I'm gonna go through the 15-0, through that last row, and I'm coming out of the 8-0 there on that last row, and you put the clasp on this side the exact same way you put the clasp on this side. So if you need to back up in the video, you certainly can. You're just gonna do it with this end. and we'll meet back. All right, so here is the other side of the clasp, and I am now coming out of the 3mm right here. I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna make my knot right where it's at. So I'm gonna go under that 3mm right there, and pull it till I get a loop. Go through that loop, pull it nice and snug. I'm gonna do that one more time. Go underneath that thread, pull it till I get that loop, through the loop, and nice and snug. I'll use my cutters, and I'm gonna take my thread zap, push that button, and melt down the little nub. And there it is. Start to finish. I just think it looks so pretty. And there. Very, very nice. So pretty. All right, now I'm gonna set both of these up on my display and we will see them better. All right, so here they are, and I have to say, I absolutely love how they came out. I think they turned out so nice. And we'll go around to the toggles here. Of course, this one came in the dollar bead box. Really love it for March 2024. And this one was from my own stash. Absolutely love it. And once again, most of the beads from this bracelet over here, the green beads, came from the February box for 2024. And the ones from here came from March 2024. And I like how those beads that are on top just kind of stand out. They're obviously they're elevated above the rest of the bracelet, and it just looks so nice. So once again, if you are interested in the dollar bead box or the dollar bead bag, or like me, you're interested in both, I will have all the information in the description box below. You should definitely go check out their website. Just about everything is only $1. And when you place an order, you want to use my code. That code is CRAFT2, and that code will get you $2 off your first month of a multi-month subscription. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos just like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.